Anthony Adebayo. We off the record.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.
What's up, man?
What up, man?
I see you rocking them 2 chains over there.
Don't even ask me why I did that. It's just it matched my teeth.
2 chains, Ant, man. That's what we gonna call you, man.
Oh no, let's get some horns. Yeah, so what's good? This Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
It's your boy Scotty B. Nah, everything's good, man. Everything's good. I was just looking, and I see we're at episode 194. We are approaching 200. The 200 episode. Fairly soon. Another 6 weeks, we'll be at 200. Wow.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, and we gonna we gonna do something special for people. I think it's time for us. It's been a year. I think it's time for us to be back in the same building, man. I think it's about that time, man.
Agreed upon.
We're
actually over 200 episodes. If you go back to the Reppin' VA days, if you go back there, so we're over 200. But
those were some wild and crazy days where we didn't know what in the world was going on. We was just kicking it. We ain't never really had no guests. We had a couple, but now it's different now. It's different now. But yeah, man. So I guess we can get started with the sports. NCAA tournament started. We ain't been on since the tournament started. And what's your thoughts?
I have not ever in my life seen a crazier NCAA tournament than this tournament. My bracket is tore all to pieces. You know what's the biggest shocker is I think everybody pretty much had a hard time because the rankings of all the teams was just off. I mean, the Big Ten, I mean, I was thinking like, man, the Big Ten is the power conference, but it turns out it's the Pac-12. Everybody, so all the teams in the Big Ten except for Michigan is still is out of the tournament. And it's just mind-boggling, all the upsets. I was reading the – go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, you good.
I was reading the article, and they say the NCAA classifies an upset as a team being ranked above another team by 5 spots, right? So they said that in the first weekend, they have 12 upsets.
That's got to be a record.
It's the record in the first weekend. The total record is 13, which it can still happen.
Well, that's definitely gonna happen, though. It's definitely gonna happen. So, who you had coming out of the who you have winning it?
I got Gonzaga winning it. As
a Michigan fan.
Yeah, I got Gonzaga over Michigan. So the crazy part about my bracket is it's all red except for my Final Four. My Final Four is still intact.
Okay.
Yeah. No, actually, no. It is because I had an old way over Illinois. So yeah, my Final Four is intact, but everything else is terrible.
Yeah. So as a Michigan fan, I too have Gonzaga winning the whole thing. Because so here's the thing. I have them playing each other in the Final Four. I do have them playing each other in the Final Four. And I do want them to win. right? This is probably the first year where I didn't do a whole lot of brackets. Mainly it's because it's your fault, but that's neither here nor there. I didn't do a lot of brackets, but well, I did two. I had Michigan winning one. I had Gonzaga winning the other. It just so happens that the one that was counting, that we bet on, has Gonzaga winning. And I mean, if you think about it, Gonzaga hasn't. They haven't had a. I mean, I guess I think that's the WCC, whatever conference they in, the conference tournament. I guess that the championship game was the closest that people got to them, but they've won all their games by double digits. So it's like, man, they're leaps and bounds better than everybody, and I will be shocked if they don't make it to if they don't win the championship.
Yeah, I would concur with that. I mean, they're the only team that hasn't been challenged. Even as a Michigan fan, that LSU team was not an eighth seed. That LSU team had a whole bunch of talent, and Michigan could have lost that game. And you know what? If they would have lost, I wouldn't even been mad. That backcourt is amazing for LSU. So I was surprised that Michigan was able to pull it together. But credit to Juwan Howard. He made the adjustments, and Michigan was able to pull it off. Ohio State, that was a shock to me. I didn't see Ohio State going that early. What are your thoughts about the guy getting all the death threats and all the crazy tweets and all that stuff?
You know, I think that's crazy. First of all, I mean, it's just sports. Let's these people. We need to not get, you know, that crazy. It's just sports. And you know, there may have been money on the line, and I think that's where it comes from. But at the end of the day, man, we still talking about kids,
right?
So sending death threats to a kid, it first of all, authorities need to be involved, because especially nowadays, you can't take any threat lightly. You know, so no, authorities should be involved. I guess that's where I'm at with this. Where I'm at with it, because that's uncalled for.
So out of the whole tournament, right, and just aside from teams, we'll get into which team was the biggest surprise. But what player has amazed you most?
Oh man, the kid from Houston.
You're on mute. You're back on mute.
I'm back on mute again. Hold on 1 second.
No, you're back off now. You're good.
What is happening right now? And now I hear echo. But the kid from Houston, I forget his name right now. The guard, and the big guy from Loyola. That kid can play, yo. I'm like, first of all, he looks like he's 30, but I mean, he could ball, man. He could ball. So those are the two that really stand out. Forgive me for not having their names, but
what about Buddy Buckets, the new Buddy Buckets, Jim Boeheim's son, man? I mean, he couldn't miss. And I had Syracuse going early because I had watched Syracuse earlier this year, and I wasn't impressed. They seem to be like, you know, the Dukes, the North Carolinas, and the Kentuckys, but shout out to him for pulling that off. And then the kid out of UCLA, I can't think of his name. They call him the new king of Cali, but he could play. He could play. And the two guys from St. Bonaventure's, not St. Bonaventure's, Oral Roberts. That's the school.
Right. That they doing all. They scored like 71% of the teams for.
Hey, hell, they're balling, man.
Crazy, man. Yeah. So I mean, the tournament has been fun to watch. I'll say that. All again, I haven't really seen a game where I'm like, let's just change the channel. You know, the game. You know, you busy going back and forth between TBS and True TV and all of those. And I think it's a good thing. It's needed, especially after we didn't get a tournament last year. So I think I'm grateful. I think we're all grateful just to have the tournament, right? But I think it's even more special, one, because we didn't have it last year, and the games have been really, really good. So it's like you can't even be mad.
Nah, you're right. All right, so something I want to get into a little bit, as something that you've been a proponent of, and you've always talked about this. What about the athletes that are protesting that they're not the intellectual property of the NCAA? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I just saw that what is his name? Mark Emmert. He's like the president of the NCAA or whatever he is, or the commissioner, whatever he is. He's gonna meet with the kids that are protesting, and I'm always pro athlete. Now, I mean, 90% of the time I'm pro athlete, and I agree that they should protest. Again, it's their right to protest, and I don't have one problem at all with them protesting.
Well, some of the backstory that kind of got lost is the NCAA, they had agreed to change a lot of the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And had they went through with all that, they wouldn't have this problem on their hands. But the problem is they, because it was supposed to be implemented January 2021 of this year, right, and they couldn't get the deal done for whatever reason. But the athletes make a good point. One of them was talking about earlier today how if you've got a scholarship, academic scholarship, you can have your own tutoring service. And then, another pointed out that if you've got like a music scholarship, you can still have an album out and you can generate revenue. So why can't they? And it's time to come up with some sort of document that is current to the times. A lot of those NCAA rules are outdated, and
absolutely
they need to be changed. So I will continue to support the players for protesting. I continue for them to encourage them to continue to promote awareness.
And the ones that aren't protesting need to start protesting.
Yeah, even the equal rights of the women athletes, man. I know me and you had briefly talked about it a little bit about the women facilities and the amenities at the tournament and how, they posted the picture of the dumbbell and what was it, a weight bench that they had.
It was terrible. They had better amenities in like 2-star hotels.
Right. No, I have better amenities in my house. I'm sure you have better amenities. Right. No, I mean, really, I have more than a couple of dumbbells and a bench.
It's crazy, man. It is crazy.
Most people have better amenities in their garage. I would even go out that half the population has better amenities than what they got, and I bet you I wouldn't be too far off either.
Yeah, and so another thing about that is, they tried to fix it, but it shouldn't be a situation where you have to fix it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you shouldn't have to they're D1 athletes, and these schools are making millions and millions of dollars, billions of dollars, just even from the women. So to give them half. To do things halfway and not give them the things that they need is it's kind of whack. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't make any sense. I just don't get it. So again, they have tried to fix it, but it shouldn't be a situation where you have to try and fix it. You know what you gave the men. You know everything that the men got. And the women deserve the same exact thing. I mean, if not more, because they're women.
Yeah, and to your point, I mean, NCAA is making money hand over fist. I understand that they didn't have the tournament last year, but I mean, this year I'm pretty sure that, and I've got to check, the ratings are probably there, and people are definitely tuned in. So, they can do a lot better with the athletes.
Yeah, and so it was funny. I think it was a young lady from Oregon, I believe, that posted it on Twitter. I believe it was Oregon, but they said, I guess initially the NCAA said that it was a space issue.
She called him out on that.
And when
She called him out on that.
And showed the space, it was like, come on, man. Y'all could have came up with something better than that. Like space? Really? Space? Oh, man. So
But imagine how long this stuff has been going on at. I mean, she called it out, but this has probably been the existing problem. I mean, the fact that they thought that they could get away with it means to me that they've been getting away with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, all right. So, again, have you watched any of the women?
A little bit, not so much.
Michigan's women's team has made the Sweet 16 for the first time ever, which is shocking.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, so I don't know, but you want to get into the winner of the week?
Yeah, we can.
All right, let's do it.
No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner.
Okay, so my winner of the week is hockey referee Tim Pill. The reason why I'm giving Tim Pill my winner of the week is yesterday in a game, he decided that he was going to make up a call because he had gave a team had gotten away with a bad call. So he was going to penalize the other team by making up a call so that he could even the score. The problem with that is he got caught on camera admitting to that. So as a result, Mr. Tim Pill has been suspended for the remainder of the year, which it didn't matter too much because he was going to retire at the end of this year anyway. But why would you do that on camera? I understand that he didn't know the hot mic was right there, but if you're going to do like a makeup call, why don't you just keep that to yourself, man? like, what was the point in even saying that out loud? So the bigger issue here, and I want to get your discussion. This is something that we felt that refs in all sports have done. That they blow calls and then to make up for it, they make another call to even out the score. What can be done to mitigate that?
Man, we've been saying makeup calls since the beginning of time. Ultimately, the ref should have kept it to himself if he was going to do that. I don't think it was a call to like affect the game, but which those can affect the game. How do you mitigate it? I mean, unless they say that they're doing it like he did, like the dummy did. I don't really think you can, unless it's like blatant. I don't think you can do anything. You can hold the refs accountable, like he's being held accountable now, and he's being fired. I'll give the NHL credit because they could have been like, "Oh, we're going to do an investigation," and then strung it out throughout the season and had him still reffing. You know what I'm saying? But they pretty much got him out of there, and which was a good thing. But there's always been that fine line with refs, right? Because it always feels like sometimes refs. We saw with basketball with Donaghy, and he was ultimately blowing calls or not making calls and affecting the games, to line his pockets. And in those cases, I mean, that is a major problem. And the biggest thing to do is fire them, hold them accountable, ban them for life if you have to, things of that nature. Because had something like that happened and Nashville and Nashville lost the game or won the game, it would have looked crazy. It would have been even crazier. It's got these refs, like the refs don't understand the power that they have. Like refs can ultimately cause a team to lose and nothing happened to them.
Yeah. See, okay, so my father would disagree with that. A lot of people know my dad's been roughing probably for close to 40 years now, and he's said that before, that they do makeup calls and stuff like that. Right. But I think when you start getting into the NBA, the NFL, the Major League Baseball, even NHL, the refs should be held a little bit more accountable. I mean, they make good money. They're professional refs. They should have to answer to some of that stuff. And maybe that's where they'll stop. Maybe you'll get a better quality of refs. I think instant replay has helped out a lot of sports tremendously. I like what the NBA was doing in the bubble, to where they had like the hot mics on the refs when they were going through the instant replay, just kind of walking the fans through what they were seeing and some of the angles that they were looking at. I like how I guess in football, and it started a little bit with the XFL, to where they'd have the ref in the booth explaining to the fans what's going on, what the refs should be looking for, and critiquing them. So I think those things have made the refs a little bit more accountable. But that was just crazy, man. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make up a call. Good, I got him with a penalty to kind of even it out. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. It's that is wild. I'm sorry. So the crazy thing is, like, these hot mics, they've been getting guys, like you just had the guy calling the Oklahoma State game using the N-word, and then he tried to blame it on diabetes. I'm not here to judge, but that just seems a little strange. And now you have this, and I'm sure that there's multiple accounts of people doing stupid stuff on the hot mics, man, and it's getting crazier and crazier.
Yeah, man. So the trade deadline is tomorrow for the NBA. Hey, shout out to Blake Griffin, man. I see you out there averaging 5 points for the Nets, man. Keep up the good work, buddy. Definitely nothing against you. I even like your new show that you got on there. And if you haven't checked out Blake Griffin's show, it's really good. But hey, I need you to keep averaging those 5 points so I can get this new hat, man.
Blake Griffin, if you know what's good for you.
Have you seen his new show?
I haven't seen it yet. I did hear it was good.
Oh, you gotta check it out.
Yeah, so I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out. This man done went to New York and got a new show already. I'm like, oh my God. New York wins again. Like, but the trade deadline is tomorrow, and there's some guys that are their names are picking up steam. Kyle Lowry, what's his name from San Antonio?
Victor Oladipo,
LaMarcus Aldridge. You have somebody like Norman Powell who's having a career year this year. Among some Lonzo Ball,
yeah, Brogdon, Malcolm Brogdon, and then Sabonis.
I do want to get to Lonzo Ball. I do call like about a month or so ago. You and Jamal were just like pretty much dogging this guy. And I mean, and he's just continued to show out this season. He's having a really good season. Okay,
so this is what I would say about Lonzo Ball. I wouldn't say he's having a really yeah, he's having a good season. He does things that don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet. And he's a guy that he affects the game because he's a strong defender, and he has improved his shooting, and he has a unique ability to get people involved.
Right.
I think eventually he may end up being a little bit better. It might be a little bit premature to calling him trash, but if you look at his numbers, he's okay. If you go strictly off the numbers, now can he help a contender? Absolutely. If he's in the right spot, I don't think Philly is the right spot for him. I think personally he probably play better, a little bit better with the Clippers. But we'll see how it shakes out. Philly wants a point guard. They've been linked to Kyle with the Raptors. They want to get him. I've heard some rumblings about Malcolm Brogdon possibly going there, and then of course Zoe. So it'd be interesting to see what move they make.
I do like Zoe on the Sixers. I really do like that move. I like that move better than the Clippers. I personally don't think he should go back to LA. Whether it's the Clippers, I don't think he should go back to LA. I think that him getting out of LA was probably the best thing to happen to his career. Because you just want to get away from home and get away from your comfort zone. I think since he's been in New Orleans, is just pretty much slowed everything down for him. As far as like life and all of those things. Also, if you pair him with Ben Simmons defensively, the opposing backcourt is going to have problems. If you have Zoe and Ben Simmons, because Ben Simmons is probably going to win Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know if I know people give him flack for not shooting threes. Man,
he's a lockdown. He's a lockdown defender. No, you're absolutely correct on that. He is a lockdown defender. I've always given him crap for not shooting. Now I always felt like for that offense to open up, the ball had to come out of his hands, which it looks like a lot of people, Doc Rivers and Daryl Morey probably agree with me a little bit. So that offense has opened up with them surrounding him with shooters, because it's allowed him to focus on defense and facilitating. And, I mean, the 76ers, they're in first place now, and they're not going anywhere in that East. Now, another team that Lonzo Ball has been linked to is the Knicks. I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks end up with Oladipo and Ball.
This year?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the perfect landing spot for Oladipo, and I think, Magic Johnson called out. I agree with him wholeheartedly. He fits into what Tom Thibodeau wants to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Lonzo Ball? Yeah, he's a defensive presence, and he's a facilitator, and that's the type of guard that Tom Thibodeau wants. Victor Oladipo, he gives the Knicks another scoring option. To go with Randall. Randall, I watched the Knicks play the Wizards last night, and they blew the brakes off of the Wizards. It looked unfair. Out there watching, I'm like, God damn. Y'all just gonna let the Knicks do that to you. And the commentator, he was like, yeah, man, we're just so used to the Knicks being sorry. He was like, this is probably a good team, but maybe it's not. But they beat the Wizards like they stole something last night. And I couldn't get over it. But if they add a couple more pieces, right now they're in that 7th spot. I believe Miami's in that 6th spot. We could be a legitimate playoff team this year.
Well, I think you guys are going to go to the. I think you guys are going to go to the playoffs. What happens in the playoffs, I don't know, but I say this: if the Knicks get Oladipo and Lonzo Ball, who first of all, who would they have to give up? Who are y'all losing?
That I don't know. I think we have enough assets to where we could give up whoever.
So who would you want them to give up to get those two guys? Because then I can finish with my statement. Who would you want them to give up to get those two guys?
We can give up Elfrid Payton. You can give up Bullock. You can give up Norrell. You can give
you're
up.
gonna add some picks to this, right? Because
you can give up Obi Toppin. Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
When you gonna start talking about giving up them draft picks? Because
you can give up some draft picks. You can give up some draft picks, and I mean they can figure it out, man. Oladipo, they ought to be able to get him for cheap.
okay, right. All right,
They'll be able to get Oladipo for cheap.
You tripping? So all right, let me go on with what I was gonna say. If the Knicks get Lonzo Ball, and first of all, get that stupid smile off your face because you don't even know what I'm about to say. If the Knicks get Lonzo Ball and Victor Oladipo and pair those two with Julius Randle, what's the other kid that's making some? Oh my God! Quickly. Yo, the way he made that boy just fly across the screen yesterday was just absolutely disrespectful. But if you pair them with those guys, I see the Knicks getting at least to the conference semis, right? Not only getting to the conference semis, getting to a seventh game. Now, what happens in that seventh game, I don't know. But I have them going that far.
Yeah, I think if they add those pieces, they're right there in the mix. I even look at a team like the Lakers, right? So there's been whispers that if they don't get a deal done tomorrow for Andre Drummond, they're thinking about buying him out, and then he can come back he can go to the Lakers. And they can get him, and that will provide a little bit of depth. There's also been talk of JaVale McGee. Getting him either bought out of his contract or getting the third team involved to where they could trade to get him back to the Lakers because they can't get him in a trade since they traded him this season. But if they get a third team involved and that'll add depth to that center position, which they're missing. Yeah,
and I've even heard, and I think that this would be amazing if they somehow work it out. And get Kyle Lowry to LA, to the Lakers. And if Kyle Lowry goes to the Lakers, listen what I tell you. Give them a shot, because people don't really respect Kyle Lowry like that. But if you put Kyle Lowry there and he gets his feet wet while LeBron and AD are out, and he keeps them above water, I still see a championship.
If they get their hands on Kyle Lowry, everything gets interesting again. Now, right now, the Nets look like they're going to run away with it. I know the Heat have finally found their touch and they're starting to climb. You still got Aaron Gordon out there. I think Aaron Gordon in the right situation, you get him out of Orlando and you put him somewhere, he could be a vital he could be about a role player depending on where he's supposed to go. I've even heard the Warriors are interested in Oladipo, which, they're making a push. I think they're in that 9th spot out west, so they're making a push trying to get into the playoffs. And I think Oladipo help them out. But I am extremely disappointed in this Houston Rockets organization. To have 20 straight losses, my God.
They snapped it, though.
They snapped it, thank God. But it's just crazy. At least with the Raptors, I know they're on a huge losing streak, but they've had COVID restrictions, and a lot of players had to sit out. But the Rockets, man, I felt bad for that coach during his press conference. He looked like he wanted to break down and cry. Like, it's just too much.
I don't think that's what he was expecting when he took that job.
With that roster, they ought to be able to win. They should be losing 20 straight, man.
Yeah, but I think and I think we talked about it before. Harden did know he knew what he was doing when he said he wanted to get out of there.
He looks like the smartest man in the room. He looked. I mean, so me and you both, I think we were on the same page with this. We was like, you know what, James Harden wasn't giving Houston the opportunity. We were like, they got John Wall, they got Boogie, they got Christian Wood. Like, there's some pieces there. If he plays, they could be in contention. And it turns out that he was just like, nah, he was right. So I got something I need to ask you, and we need to talk about. We need to get serious for a second. All right, last week both of us came on, and the news at first broke about Deshaun Watson, right? So at the time, it might have been 3 allegations at one time, and it just seemed a little fishy. Things didn't seem right. I think now we're up to 16 allegations. What are your thoughts?
You want me to go first, or you want to go first?
You can go first.
I have the feeling that we're about to disagree.
So you need to go first.
All right. So I still think that this is. I feel like that the Houston owner has a lot to do with this. I feel that, being that I'm always pulling one of your moves, and I need to see the facts. We need to see facts. Allegations. I take allegations as just that, allegations, unless proven otherwise, right? And again, we don't know. We don't know these people personally, and we're all just guessing, right? But we have seen this story before, and I will not be surprised if in a month or two, about a draft or something like that, that all these allegations turns into these suits getting dropped, and ultimately he's just gonna have to. They just gonna make make it a little rough for him. Right now it's just rough for him, and he got to get through it. But the fact that there's no names, the fact that his attorney did speak yesterday and say that we know for certain that we finally found out one of the people and know that is totally false. I think that helps his case, with his attorney coming out and speaking. Numbers are numbers, right? And I know you're about to say, well, it's different when there's 1, 2, or 3. But it's 16, and they're all being represented by the same person who he looks like the scummiest of scumbags of attorneys. And he had, and I hate to say this, or do I? But him going on Instagram and tweeting, it just smells so much of a Donald Trump type person. And those type of people, I just don't trust. I do not trust this attorney. I don't trust the owner of the Texans. And I don't trust these so-called women that are making these allegations. And I'll let you go because I already know. Go ahead, just go. It's your go.
All right, you knew we were going to disagree.
You tripping, Scott.
Right.
You tripping.
You're right. We do need to see more facts, but when there's smoke normally, there's fire.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but just a lot of smoke.
You probably just need an oil change. Somebody's car might be smoking.
It's a lot of smoke, and it's a lot of consistencies in the stories. So for me, right, like you said, and you're absolutely right. 3 people, okay, I got to see more facts. 16 people saying the same thing, you got my eyebrows up. And yeah, is it a little fishy with the lawyer? Yeah, but a lot of lawyers are scumbags. You know what I mean? So I don't. I don't blame them there.
Have you seen how he looked though?
Yeah, he probably is a scumbag. He probably is ready for the shakedown, but let's not lose sight of it. Deshaun Watson put himself in some very bad situations.
Or did he?
Okay, so the masseuse thing, right? You mean to tell me with all that money, man, he can't hire one masseuse to come in?
Yeah, what about Robert Kraft? Robert Kraft is one of the richest men in the world, and he went to the spot.
Yeah, but his was consensual. He was paying for his, you know what I mean? And he went into the spot. He knew what it was. He was like, you know, I'm not really getting a massage. I'm going to slide you this $200 to $300, and he had a regular joint. You know, he got caught up.
Yeah, he got caught up in a sting, right? And I get that, and I get that. Who's to say? Because again, we don't know what happened, right? Who's to say that it wasn't it going in there? It was consensual, and they knew that he was going in there, and they paid, and whoever somehow those masseuses got paid. Because here's the thing. The stories sound way too similar. They just sound way too similar.
Yeah, they're talking about they were Masonal. You know, they're talking about, they do sound a little bit similar, but it's just it sounds like a pattern, man. You know what I mean? Like, how many different masseuses are you going to, and they pretty much have the same consistent story. Like, yo, he was going in there, getting in the little towel, flashing his joint, and then trying to go from there. And it's just like, come on, man. That's just, I don't know. I pray that everything works out for him. He's a generational talent. I mean, most people want Deshaun Watson on their football team on the football field, but he's in some deep crap. And knowing all this, he probably should have settled. He probably should have paid them their money and just made this story go away.
So, so you don't find it a little funny that all of a sudden that this is coming out now?
Oh, I mean, I'm with you 100% on that. Did the Texans have to do with this? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they probably knew about this a while ago, but you know, for whatever reason, because he decided that he wanted to trade out of there, they let this story come out. Yeah, do I think that they're in cahoots with this lawyer? Absolutely. Do I think it's a smear campaign? Absolutely. But where I blame Deshaun Watson is how did you put yourself in this position to allow them to smear you like this? You know, and that's how I feel that it is. It's got to be, it may not all the way be true, but there's some truth somewhere in there. And he's got to learn from it.
That he went to go get a massage and you know, he happened to turn around.
I mean, you got reports of this brother touching the woman and kissing on them and getting maced. And, you know, they've got text messages, quote unquote, because we haven't seen the evidence with him apologizing and him being kicked out of people's houses. And I mean, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. And I'm sure more is going to come out, but hopefully, maybe if I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm on the phone with this lawyer and I'm on the phone with the guys, the Texans. I'm like, yo, look, how do I settle this joint? Just get rid of the story. Just get rid of the story, because nothing good. His reputation, regardless, is going to be damaged as a result of this.
Yeah, but that, I don't think there's anything that can't be repaired. I mean, it's going to be damaged because it's you know, bad news, right? But I don't think that he will. I don't think it's something that he can't come back from or fix. I mean, eventually this story is going to go away, you know, and you know, because again, it's not like he's getting charged. He's like, it's not like he's being charged as a criminal or anything. So, I mean, we'll see.
But you're right though. He can repair it, but he's got to make the story go away. He's got to make the story go away, put some distance between it, and then once he puts some distance between it, If his play picks up on the football field, yeah, people will forget. I mean, look at Big Ben and look at Antonio Brown. You know, like people forgot about their well, not forgot about it, but it was just kind of swept under the rug. So we'll see how it goes. But 16, man, that's a lot, bro.
No, I agree. So one last thing, I think I feel like we have to talk about this shooting in Colorado, in Boulder, Colorado.
Right.
This one is crazy because I don't want to say that people like we're getting like numb to it, but when I heard about this the other day, I was like, not again. You gotta be kidding me. And I think we have to get back to a point where it's not a damn, this happened, sorry to hear that, and then go on about your day. There's gotta be something done. Something has to be done. With the gun laws. I think you have to start there with the gun laws. And however long it takes to get this, going, it needs to get done. With changing the gun laws. This is unfortunate. A number of people were killed. I think the total number was 8 or 10. It was 10, and this is unfortunate, man. And I don't know. It's got to the point where something has to be done. But what do you do? How do you fix this?
Yeah, I think, like you said, man, you got to start with the gun laws, and just prayers, man, to the families in Colorado,
Absolutely,
the victims and the victims. Who would have thought going to a grocery store you wouldn't be safe? So when I heard that, it was just crazy, man. I mean, and a police officer lost his life out there too, and it's just sad, man. And you think about the stuff that's going on in Atlanta. Stuff that's going on with the Asian population, hate crimes and stuff. It's just right now we're just in a bad place. But to your point, we do need to start with the gun laws. I think that would help. I know a lot of people will be hell bent on staying with the right to bear arms, but everybody doesn't need a gun. And they're right. Guns don't kill people. Stupid people with guns kill them. So we got to start monitoring who has them, man, and get control of that, and then we can kind of move forward. But nah, man, my heart just goes out to those victims, man, in Colorado.
So, I hate to say this, and I don't want to make this like a race thing, right? But
so don't make it a race thing. Don't make it. Yeah, don't make it a race.
All right, you're right.
By America, and I just knew it.
I was my fault. I was So we know. I think what's understood doesn't need to be said. It's just odd, man. It's just odd. But they have the suspect in custody, which is what I'm getting at. They're in custody, and I'll leave it at that. So praise to those families, and we need to change the laws.
Right.
So, Battlegrounds. We're coming up towards the end of season 2. Playoffs start in about a week or so, and we're lining up to have some triple threat matches this weekend. But before we get to the triple threat matches, we have impromptu battles that are going down, the rest of this week. Scott, do you know anything about these impromptu battles?
Yeah, I got a battle tonight. It is, I wouldn't call it a must win, but it's a must win. It's a pretty important battle for me. So I've got to show out and show up. I know my opponent is going to be pretty fired up. I always get a little nervous when somebody continues to, I don't want to say harass you, but continue to ask to battle you, because it means that they may have something up their sleeve, or they might see something. They might see some sort of weakness or something. So I've been like, at first I was just kind of like, nah, I'll do it whenever. But I think it's to my advantage to battle this person just because of the rankings and to get out of the gauntlet. Hopefully, if I don't battle, I'm in the gauntlet. If I battle and lose, I'm in the gauntlet. If I win, I come out of the gauntlet. So it's just sheer numbers from here. So I definitely, we'll see, man. I think I'm ready, and I'm going to put on the show. Hopefully the people won't be disappointed. I don't have any King's antics or nothing, so I'm not going to play the original song and then play the song so people can't look forward to that. I'm not that talented, but I'm going to try to put on the show.
All right. So again, I think next week, Wednesday, there's probably going to be a battle again next Wednesday. And I think that we'll probably have those folks on. It should be good. It should be good, man. But best of luck tonight, Scott. I think that you got a good shot to win. You better win, or you ain't gonna hear the end of it.
I'm probably not gonna hear the end of it.
So don't lose. Don't embarrass this damn show.
Oh,
so you better win.
Put more pressure on me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put the pressure on.
Absolutely. So look, again, we got some things scheduled for next month. We actually have 2 or 3 interviews. So look forward to us having some more interviews in April. I think next week closes out the month. I don't know what just happened. Oh, next week closes out the month. And maybe we may add some why does my camera keep on going in and out? But maybe we'll add some people. I have. Can you hear? You can hear me.
I can hear you fine. Just,
I don't know what is happening right now, but whatever. It's time to go. I think that's the cue for get the hell off the air. But I think next week we'll have some of our friends on, man. I think we'll have them on, and they can kick it with us on the show. Maybe some other folks, but you can catch us on YouTube. One thing. I told Scotty this, and I think that once we start, going back into, in-person shows, I think we may do some more clips. We may actually have some commercials, y'all. So just be prepared. I think it's coming, but whatever. Anyway, follow us on Twitter. The OTR brand. Facebook is Off the Record. Instagram is at the Off the Record Show. And then YouTube. You can find us on YouTube. So yeah, man. But I think it's time to go. I know Scotty got to prepare for his battle, so he better win. Scott. Y'all don't think y'all should? You don't think you should do the Yoke 'em Up challenge for tonight?
Man, I ain't doing the Yoke 'em Up challenge. I want to try to secure the win. I'm just gonna go from there. Yeah, I was already baited into this battle, but hey, I want to do what I do.
Baited by who? Not by me.
Oh yeah, you, yeah, you.
Me? I didn't do anything.
Yeah, you've been baiting up a lot of battles lately. You said you can't battle, so you're gonna make sure everybody else battle. But it's cool though. I need to come off the sideline, so it's cool.
Yeah, man.
This helps. Good, win or lose, this is gonna help. So I had to come off the sidelines anyway.
Some horns, man. You got some horns, man. You know, so. But, all right, man. This is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
It's your boy Scotty B.
Big out.
Anthony Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes. You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.